I want to show you a video that is just insane. This is an interview between a software company recruiter and a developer. And if you haven't noticed so far, the developer on the left is using AI to change his face. It looks very realistic, but if you zoom in, you can kind of tell that something is off. That this is not a real face.
Can you take your hand and put it in front of your face to cover it partially?
And even his answers were from ChatGPT. It's someone with a fake face trying to get hired in this company. But this is not an isolated incident. In fact, it's actually part of a giant network of North Koreans secretly using fake identities to infiltrate Western companies as remote IT workers. I know, it sounds unbelievable, but this is a true and absolutely wild story, and I need to tell you about it. This is David Machado, the co-founder of a cybersecurity company in San Francisco. He was the recruiter for this deepfake candidate. The candidate, let's just call him deepfake, had a LinkedIn account with around 500 connections. His account said that he was from Serbia, that he was born there, went to school there, and worked there for 9 years. His name and face appeared to David as generally Slavic, so everything checked out. But after they spoke in this technical interview, David quickly realized that deepfake was not real. His face was fake, and he had what David described as a really strong Asian accent. And as soon as David ended the call, any trace of deepfake was gone. The person David talked to was not real. He relied on deepfake technology to give himself a fake face.
Get out of this, the bomb in there, get out!
His goal was to go unnoticed and hopefully infiltrate his way into this cybersecurity company. This kind of scam is now becoming very common. Just a month ago, the FBI issued wanted notices for these two North Korean scammers, Jin Sung-il and Park Jin-sung. They're accused of working as remote IT workers in at least 64 American companies in the past 6 years. They used fake identities to get hired and actually worked for years, collecting almost $900,000. What's important to mention is that their crime isn't just that they worked as remote workers. That's totally fine and legal. But it's the fact that the US has sanctions that prevent many North Koreans from working remotely for American companies. And the reason why is because the North Korean government oftentimes uses remote workers to steal Western companies' data and money, which they then send back to the regime. This is exactly what Jin and Park are accused of doing, using fake IDs to get work in the US and laundering the $900,000 they earned back to Pyongyang. And you know how they get these fake IDs? This is the ID Jin used to get work in the US. And it says that he's a Mexican national called Pedro Alonso de los Reyes. It's a fake ID, obviously, but the identity isn't. Alonso is real. He's based in Sweden. Turns out, Jin paid Alonso to use his real identity on job applications. That's where this web of scamming grows even more. North Koreans are now collaborating with Westerners to grow this operation. In a recent case, a Tennessee house was set up as what's called a laptop farm. Essentially, the house hosted around 79 computers that North Korean workers could use to make it look like they're working from the US. A man from Ukraine, Alexander Didenko, set this up as a front company called Upworks to make it look like it's a real business just looking for remote workers. But instead, it's actually a platform that connects North Koreans with fake or stolen IDs. Once they get these IDs, they can then start applying to American companies. Upworks isn't live anymore, but there is the Wayback Machine. And I used that to find out what the website looked like a year before it was taken down. This is what Upworks looked like at the height of this scam. Basically like a cheap remote job posting site. But the real point was to connect with North Koreans through Telegram or Skype, where the North Koreans could then find and buy IDs using either PayPal or crypto wallets. FBI raided this Tennessee house and just arrested the Denko in Poland. But they also found some really terrifying information. Some of the North Koreans involved in this scam are part of North Korea's nuclear weapons program. That kind of helps us answer the main question of this whole scheme, which is why? Why would North Korea spend so much time and money setting this whole scheme up? Everything points to a pattern of North Korean officials using these fake remote workers to steal sensitive data from the US. Data about nuclear weapons, AI, robotics, cybersecurity infrastructure. All of this data, along with the actual paychecks these workers got while working there, are all sent to North Korea, so that the North Korean regime can use it to develop their nuclear weapons program. It's part of a much bigger strategy coming out of Pyongyang to plant their hackers and remote workers all across the planet, siphoning all the data and money they steal right back to the regime. It's just now they're becoming a lot more sophisticated. With this kind of deepfake technology, they can now more easily infiltrate Western companies. And it's working. The US Attorney's Office in DC found that more than 300 US companies have been infiltrated by North Korean IT workers. For recruiters like Machaldwo, it's getting harder and harder to tell if someone's a legit remote worker or one of these deepfake North Korean workers. And that's what makes this whole thing so much worse than just a scam. If anyone online can now fake their face, their resume, their entire identity, how do you know who you're really hiring? Could this political operation from North Korea end up ruining any trust companies have left in remote workers? There's so many benefits to remote work, but something like this could be just another reason for companies to limit remote options, which sucks, because regular workers that could benefit from remote work now get screwed over because of geopolitical tensions. It's funny, it's kind of like one of my last videos about how companies post fake jobs to look like they're growing. So much of the online job market is fake right now. And North Koreans with fake IDs and deep fake faces is now just another thing to add to that pile. But the first and most important step we can take is to just know it's happening, to educate ourselves about this problem. So if you want to better understand how technology is affecting our job market, our safety, our whole world, hit subscribe and like the video if you liked it. And if you're a recruiter or you know someone who is, share this video so they can keep an eye out. Finally, if you guys want to support the show, you can now do so on Patreon. You can get all kinds of perks on there for half of what Netflix costs. It's a way to really help grow the channel. Literally, I need a new camera for this channel, and Patreon is a way to get there. So thank you so much for the support. I think that is it. I will see you guys in the next one.